Shalom Aleichem and welcome to Machin Le'Ra online smicha. There is something that Baruch Hashem in big Jewish communities we see every single day, and when you learn a little halacha, you delve into it, you see that wow, there's actually a chiddush in the way they do it. And we know that there are many simchas, Klal Yisrael, bar mitzvahs, there's brisson, there's chasanas. Now the fact that we make a chasana, most of the chasanas, the chuppahs in the evening or the nighttime, is actually a discussion in halacha. Why? Because the Tshuvas Haram in Chelik Beis Siman Lamed Vav asks a pashtutic question. He says, when you learn Gemara Kedushin, and you learn in many halachas, we find out that the Torah compares the words of when a woman gets divorced and she's released. The Torah says that a man writes her a get krisis, sefer krisis, v'yotza, she leaves this man, her first husband, and she can be now to whoever she chooses. So the Gemara darshans in many ways that many of the halachas that apply by v'yotza, that applies to the divorce, also applies to v'hoisa, to kedushin. Many halachas in the structure of it. So the question is, we know that v'yotza, that gittin, shouldn't be done at night. Halachically, and the Gemara speaks about it, a get shouldn't be done at night. So if a get that's by night is possible, why are you allowed to do kiddushin by night? If we always compare v'yotza to v'hoisa to v'yotza, what the dinim that apply by one apply to the other. And this shaila is brought up, as I said, in the Tshuvas Haram. It's brought the Mari Mintz and Seder Aget. Ois Nun Zayin asked this question in the name of the Ur Zerua, and they all debating this. Is it a suffix? Because the fact is that if a get is possible, should a kedushin also be possible? Now, Rabbi Akiva Eger in Shalos Tshuvas Madura Tinyana Siman Ayin Aleph, Rabbi Akiva Eger explains what the suffix is. I mean, it shouldn't be a suffix; it should be clear cut. That no, you shouldn't do it at night, because just like a get is not allowed to be done, and v'yotza v'hoisa. So Rabbi Akiva Eger explains the suffix because he says, listen, this thing that even a get is possible by night is not clearly written in the pasuk. It's only a svara. The reason why we don't do gittin by night is because since when the husband gives the wife a get, it also becomes a financial matter, because now the husband has to pay her the ksuba money. So there's a financial matter. There's a court ruling that has to follow up right away. We start dealing with it. And we know that a din Torah, a din, doesn't happen at night. Tchilas din, to start a case at night, we don't do. So by get, because it's attached to financial matters, and financial matters, tchilas din, we don't do at night. So that's why we don't do the whole get at night. So since this svara doesn't apply by kedushin, because there's no din happening right after the chasan's mekadesh the kala. You could do it at night. In other words, if it would have been a gzeres hakasuv, then whatever gzeres hakasuv applies by the gittin should apply by kedushin. But because it's a svara issue, being that the svara doesn't apply by kedushin, says Rabbi Akiva Eger, that's why kedushin is allowed to be done at night. Now, we have rayas again in many svarim. They discuss this, and some bring a raya from a clear Gemara in kedushin. The Gemara Masechta Kedushin Daf Ches Amud Aleph says, if somebody goes over to a woman and says, "Hiskachi li b'mana," please, let's get engaged, and here is a mana. And the Gemara says, what happens? She, let's say a mana is $100, and she took the money, but then she realizes that it's missing some money. It's not a full $100. Or she realizes that eventually she realizes that one of the coins are not real. It's not real coins. It's a copper coin or whatever. So the Gemara says, "Eina mekudeshes," because she didn't get what she thought she's getting. So she's not Mekudesh. So the Gemara asks, I don't understand. What was she thinking when she took the money? Why? If she obviously saw it, and if she saw it, then she was satisfied with what she got. So why is she not Mekudeshes? And the Gemara clearly says, it's because he was Mekadesh her by night. So she didn't manage to see the bag of money. She accepted it. But later, next morning, when she opened the bag, she sees it's not a good coin or it's missing. So we see from here clearly that Kiddushin by night is allowed. Now, we find a very similar case, a similar discussion in Gemara Yevamos Daf Kuf Zayin. Over there, the Gemara has a shaila if chalitza is allowed to be done at night. Again, because chalitza has the same issues of financial matters. And this shaila comes up about nighttime, which things are allowed to be done, comes up in many halachas. Some say in the Haggaras Maaseh Choshev on the Shara Melech, he gives an answer that he explains the Gemara is not solid proof, because when it says Kitcha Balayla, he was Mekadesh her by night, doesn't necessarily mean night. It means dark. She couldn't see. So maybe real night, you taka shouldn't be Mekadesh, just like you can be a divorce or get by night. Now, Rabbi Akiva Eger brings another raya to challenge this. He brings a raya from a Mishnah in Gittin, Daf Pei Aleph. Over there, it speaks about a husband that divorces his wife, and even after the divorce, they're caught together in the same hotel. And the question is, does he need a second get or not? Excuse me. They're caught together in the same hotel, and the Gemara obviously thinks they were there overnight. Why, if you're telling me that what happens during the nighttime is not a real condition, why would it even be a discussion if he needs a get? He uses that as an example. Now there is a big chiddush that the Shara Melech writes in Hilchas Gerish and Perik Aleph Halach Aleph. He says that the suffix that of the Tshuva Saram that he says whether you could be Mekadesh by night is not flat out by all forms, all ways of Kiddushin. It's only if you're Mekadesh B'shtar. If a person is Mekadesh B'shtar, there's very much similarities between the shtar, the Kiddushin, and the shtar get. So maybe that should not be done at night. However, if a person chose to be Mekadesh B'kesef, nobody ever thought that it should be wrong. Mekadesh B'kesef, you could do even at night. And if you accept this, which is a very big chiddush, it will answer all the questions that we had. And he brings a raya. He says, hold on. The Gemara says that Kiddushin could be done b'kesef, b'shtar, b'biyah. Right? Either giving money, a ring, or giving a document, or living together. Now, if you stop for a second, living together has to be done at night, because halachically, you're not allowed to live together during the day. So how can you tell me Kiddushin can't be at night? So the whole suffix is only by Kedushay Shtar. Now, in Shailas Tshuvas, Afraxa de Anya, Chelik Aleph Simen Kuf Ayin Beis, he brings a very interesting raya. He says, it's brought in Svarim, why do we make the Chasana party, the Sudas Nesurin at night? He says, because the first Sudas Nesurin that's mentioned in the Torah was at nighttime. The marriage of Yitzchak and Rivka, the Torah mentions it was the evening. Because, how do we know that? Because Eliezer only brought her Le'es Erev, towards evening, and then he made the celebration. So since the first chasna was at nighttime, that's why we do that, at nighttime. And we also find the stories with Yaakov and his wives, it was also marriage by night. So the question is, why is there even a discussion if you could be Mekadesh by night or not? And it's even brought in Shulchan Aruch, in Even Ezer, Simen Chav Vav, Sifkat and Dalid and Ber Heitev, and a Pesach Tshuva, Sifkat and Zayin over there, in Simen Chav Vav, if you could be Mekadesh Balayla, when it seems to me that's how it was in the Torah. So some say the Torah is not a clear proof that it was night. It could be they were already engaged earlier. Eliezer was Mekadesh Rivka as a Shliach. Okay, so she already had Kiddushin. When she came back, the party was at night. So from there, we really don't have any raya. In Yalkut Reuveni, Parshas Vayetzer, it says something very interesting. It says that when Lavan made the party for Leah's wedding, that Leah married Yaakov, Yalkut Reuveni says it was on Friday. It was Erev Shabbos, close to Shabbos. And Yalkut Reuveni says there's a simon. It says he made a mishta, a party. Mishta, says the Yalkut Reuveni, is a begimatria Shabbos Gadol. This Shabbos is a special Shabbos. So that's why it's mashma. From there it's mashma that the beginning of the meal was actually before Shabbos. And from there, for once we started celebrating, it went into Shabbos. So it's actually a proof that the Kiddushin started during the day.